Hey everybody, it's Dr. Kalanicki. Okay, so happy Monday. Hope everyone's doing well. Today what we're going to do is do a brief review for your quiz. Your quiz is on statistical questions, sampling, and measures of center. So this is going to be, this practice sheet that you're doing right now is going to look just like your quiz. It's going to be two-sided. It's going to have the same kind of questions on it. So be focused, and here we go. Read each question carefully and answer each part. Use complete sentences and neat handwriting. I will need to read these. So you want to estimate the number of students at Salk Middle School who ride the school bus. Which sample is unbiased? So remember the difference between biased and unbiased. Biased and unbiased. Biased means unfair. You are making a judgment based on something, and unbiased is fair. Kind of weird that the unbiased is fair and biased. So think about bias as bad. We don't want a biased survey. So the question is asking us which sample would be unbiased, which one would be the most fair to ask. And again, we need to remember what kind of question we're asking them. We want to know who rides the school bus. So who would be a fair group of people to ask? Remember, we don't want to be able to predict what they're going to say. Predict what they're going to say. 4 students in the hallway. Okay, seems okay. All the students in the marching band. Okay. 50 students in 8th grade. Okay. 100 students at random during lunch. Okay, so now, again, unbiased surveys, some other things we should think about is the size of our sample. So something like 4 people wouldn't really be a lot to talk to in terms of making a survey and estimating the number of students at the whole middle school who ride the bus. So asking 4 students just isn't enough. We also don't want to ask just kids in one grade, because that would not be, again, fair. We want everyone to have a chance to participate in the survey. So the size is important, but also the fact that it should be random. We shouldn't just pick people because it's convenient for us, or because they're our friends or they're in our class. So I think all the students in the marching band is not really random. So the fact that this word is here, random, and the fact that we picked a lot of students is going to be why I'm going to choose letter D. So it says explain why your choice would be unbiased. So I'm going to write this sample has the most students and they were selected randomly. I should have said it on the video, but I think it was in the subs directions. The students should be working on this before I go over it, so hopefully that has happened. If not, let's pause the video right now and give them some time to work on this. Okay, if you're back, then we're good to go. Number 2, do you like ice cream? Circle 1. Is this question statistical or non-statistical? And again, if we watch that first video that was due for homework, you should know, do you like ice cream? That's a very non-statistical question. Why is it non-statistical? So the video talked about the different ways that a question would be statistical. This is a non-statistical question because the answers are either yes or no. There are no numbers involved. And there are not multiple responses. What does that mean? That means they're not different answers. You can only answer it one way. It's either yes or it's no. That's it. You can't say, 12 or 15 or 100. So this is a not statistical question. All right. If all of the people at the mall represent a population, Name 3 different sample groups from this population. So imagine walking into a mall and I want to take a sample of those people. Who could I sample? Well, I'm just thinking about where I go in the mall. Maybe I want to sample ladies in Old Navy. So that is a small group of all of the people at the mall. That's not really a unbiased sample because I'm just asking ladies and I'm just talking about people from Old Navy. But it's still a sample. I'm trying to think where else I go at the mall. Maybe I go to the food court. So, 5 people eating at the food court. I'm trying to think of another group. Who else could I ask? Could just ask, I don't know. I could just ask 3 kids playing at the play center. There's like a play area at the mall. So I could just go up to 3 kids and say, hey, I have a question for you. I don't know if I do that without their parents' permission, but I could do it. So again, lots of very different answers for this one that it could be, and we would accept. As long as these people are at the mall, and they're a smaller group of people at the mall, then these would all be good answers. The only answer that wouldn't be okay would be everybody at the mall, because everybody at the mall is the population, and I want just a small sample of those people. All right, turn it over. Now we are using data. We're going to calculate the mean, median, and mode, and you're going to write a summary that explains which measure of center is best representation of this data. So again, I got lots of room to show all my work, so I'm going to show it all down here. So let's start with the mean. And again, because I have all this room, I'm going to write all my data values out. I'm going to add them all up. And again, if this was a quiz and we talked about this, it might be a good idea to add the numbers more than once. I'm going to go really slow and try to make sure I don't miss anything. And double check. So right now I have 123. I'm going to do it one more time. I still got 123, so we're good. All right, so add up all the numbers and divide by how many there are. There are 9. Divided by 9, and I get 13.6 repeating. So again, I'm going to take the liberty of rounding that. Ooh, I rounded that wrong. Because it's repeating with 6s. That would actually round to 13.7. So up here in my box, 13.7. I should have said to round your answers, but I didn't. So that's my bad. If you need to, do it. All right, median. Again, I'm going to use this list really carefully and go through it very slowly, making sure I cross off as I go so I don't miss any numbers. There's a 12, there's another 12, there's a 13, there's another 13, and then there's 32. Okay, did I get them all? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Got them all. Okay, and I cross out 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 1 left over. That's my median. And then finally my mode. Again, I'm going to look really carefully at my list. I have 3 10s, 1 11, 2 12s, 2 13s. So my mode, the one that's happening the most, is 10. So now I have to decide, based on this data, what is the best measure of center? Because I see that guy, again, we talked about what that guy is. What's that guy called? He's an outlier. So since there is an outlier, the best measure of center is the, what is it? If I want to exclude that value, that outlier, the best measure of center would be the median. Remember, the first step I'm going to do is either cross out a high or low value. Now, since I have a situation, I can actually talk about it. Oh, it's talking about donut holes being sold. So overall, donut holes sold was about 12. And there we go. So I hope this helped clarify and go over some of the top things that we've talked about, such as statistical questions, sampling, and measures of center. It's now time to take your quiz. So I hope this helped. Make sure you clean up everything, put everything away, but accept your calculator and your pencil. Good luck, and I will see you back tomorrow.